So, welcome in all you DPC rebels and resistant fighters. Dr. Shane's back with another Friday 5-minute magic tip. Hope you guys are doing well. Looking forward to a great weekend. I just want to share a couple little tips with you before we get into that weekend. Today about employee pricing for DPC. Common topic. We get this question a lot. How do you set your pricing for employers in a DPC clinic? Talk about it quite frequently. Comes up a lot. And it's quite a hot topic. Recently, I was at the Hint Summit a few weeks ago, and they released their trends in DPC for 2026. Do that usually every year at their conference. It's out in the public. It's public knowledge now. I want to share a little quick graph come up on that in that trends report. But that looks at 2,700 practices that are on that trends report, over 1.4 million people, I think it was. So a ton of folks involved in that trends report when they try to look at all the data. And I want to share one slide on the difference between retail pricing and employer-based pricing in DPC. So let me just share that with you so you guys can see. And it's been kind of a steady trend. If you look at this graph here, the difference between employer pricing and retail pricing, this is the median. So the median cuts off any dramatic highs or dramatic lows. So it gives you a little better average, if you will. So the median price for retail, $99 on this year, and $65 for employer based, and employer based is kind of hanging out about the same price for the last, I don't know, 5 or 6, well, about 8 or 9 years. Employer pricing, retail pricing is kind of jumped up over time. So I wanted to share this interesting graph. It's kind of a wide separation there between retail and employer. Over $30 difference is pretty interesting to me. To see that difference. So the ultimate question is should you change your pricing for employers? If you have set pricing, maybe you have one price for all your retail individual prices. Maybe you set it on age based. Maybe you have 2 different prices. It could be set on several different ways. But think about how you set your pricing for individuals. And would you really change that for employers? Maybe you keep the same exact price. You base it on age. You do one simple price, and maybe you keep it the same. So maybe it's not a big deal. And so maybe you set one price, which is sort of an average of all your ages. That's kind of what we do in our office. We set a set price for employers, so they know, hey, we have 100 employees. It's going to be this much per employee, and so they can really kind of get a really good feel what their baseline cost for primary care services is every month. So they have a set amount that they know they can spend on primary care services. So it's a little harder if different ages are different prices. But should you change that? Some employers may or benefits advisors for large companies. You're talking about 200, 300, 400, 1,000 employees. They may really push for a discount. We want way, $30 less than your regular fee. If you're charging $80 a month, we want it for $50. We want it for $60. But we're going to send you all these patients. So I would really think long and hard before doing that, because there's a lot of administrative work that goes into dealing with employers on the backside, things that you may not think about until you're deep into it. So if you're having 200, 300, 400 people sign up, those employees are going to be changing jobs, coming and going. They're going to have new hires. So you're going to have to get people in and out of the system, contact those people who are no longer being paid for by the employers, see if they want to stay on as individuals. And there's going to be all kind of different things that are ongoing administratively that you'll need to be doing for those employees. If there's a billing issue, something's not quite right on the bill. So it's a lot more administrative work to the employer side than you would think. So I would say don't sell yourself short on uh, cutting your prices. I would keep the prices the same. Certainly not price yourself lower than what you need to be for your per member per month average. You should have a general idea like, hey, we need to bring in X amount of money every month per individual to pay all our bills and our staff and make salary and that kind of stuff. So, that average, that median that was on the hint graph I showed, 65. I'm not real sure if $65 per member per month is enough to sustain a lot of primary care DPC clinics. It could be in some areas, but a lot of areas that doesn't seem like that's going to be enough. Now, some people play the game of, well, we'll charge $50 per member per month, but we want you to sign everybody up. So if you have 100 employees, everybody has to be signed up, and so you're averaging that out because you know that a lot of employees aren't going to use your services. I don't really like to play that game. At our clinic, we only want people who come to see us to be charged. Again, that's some administrative work to track those people down, to try to get people to come. So we really encourage the employers to say, hey, offer it to everyone. We're only going to charge you for the folks who come in and see us. And so here's our set price for those people that are seeing us. So think about how you would set your fees and don't sell yourself short. Um, there is administrative work and things you need to think about when you're dealing with employers. So you need to make sure you're getting compensated for that extra work, or somebody who's doing that work in your office that you're going to have to pay to do that work. So don't sell yourself short there. I would also like to hear from you guys. How are you working your payments for employers? How do you set your fees? Do you think $65 is enough per member per month to pay your bills and your keep your business running? I'd like to hear what you guys have to say about that. And you guys enjoy the weekend coming up. Hopefully you'll have a great time with your family.